y'all. I'm Karen Morgan, and this is the Purple Bike Podcast. Hello, everybody. Today, we're going to talk about the year 2011 or 2011. I don't know, whichever way you want to say it. But in 2011, we had the royal wedding between Kate Middleton and Prince William. That was April 29th. It was a really beautiful wedding. We got to see Pippa, and everyone admired Pippa's bum. In 2011, the fad of planking was a big thing. Do y'all remember planking? People just went and laid on top of things like a plank, like a board. That was kind of it. Internet trend. People were planking in unlikely places. Some people were planking in dangerous places. I never really quite understood why people wanted to do that. In 2011, the island country of Samoa skipped a day. Why did they do this? They skipped a day so that they could move to the other side of the international date line. Because before that, they were the last country in the world to see the sunset each day. And then they skipped a day, and now they are the first ones to greet a new day. Go Samoa! In 2011, a German brewery came out with a beer called Fucking Hell. It was named after Fucking, which was actually a village in Austria, and Hell, I guess, is the German word for pale. So Fucking Hell was like a pale ale. I don't know, it's just a craft beer kind of thing. And in 2011, we had the honey badger. If you missed this video, there was a guy named Randall, and he did a commentary over a National Geographic video about honey badgers.
This is the honey badger. Watch it run in slow motion. It's pretty badass. Look, it runs all over the place. Whoa, watch out, says that bird. Ew, it's got a snake. Oh, it's chasing a jackal. Oh my gosh. Oh, the honey badgers are just crazy. The honey badger has been referred to by the Guinness Book of World Records as the most fearless animal in all of the animal kingdom. It really doesn't give a shit. If it's hungry, it's hungry. Ew, what's that in its mouth? Oh, it's got a cobra. Oh, it runs backwards. Now watch this. Look, a snake's up in the tree. Honey badger don't care.
There was some good music in 2011. 2011 was the big year for Adele. She had the number one song, Rolling in the Deep, and the number one songs just kept coming after that. The number two song was the Party Rock Anthem by LMFAO.
Let's go! Party rock is in the house tonight. Everybody just have a good time. And we gon' make you lose your mind. Everybody just have a good time. Party rock is in the house tonight.
You just gotta ignite.
And the number three song was Firework by Katy Perry.
Just on the night, like the 4th of July. 'Cause baby, you're a firework. Come on, show 'em what you work. Make 'em go, as you shoot across the sky.
We also had songs from CeeLo Green, Pink,
So raise your glass if you are wrong, and all the right ways on the underdogs. We will never be anything but loud and nitty gritty, dirty little freaks. Won't you come on and roll?
Hey girl. Oh now.
and Luke Bryan. Luke Bryan is another country artist who made the crossover to the pop charts in 2011.
Got a little boom in my big truck. Gonna open up the doors and turn it up. Gonna stomp my boots in the Georgia mud. Gonna watch you make me fall in love. Get up.
Luke Bryan is from Leesburg, Georgia. He went to Georgia Southern down in Statesboro, and he's a really wonderful person.
Shake it for the young bucks sitting in the honky tonks. For the rednecks rocking till the break of dawn. The DJ spinning that country song. Come Come on, come on, come on. Shake it for the birds, shake it for the bees, shake it for the catfish swimming down deep in the creek, for the crickets and the critters and the squirrels. Shake it to the moon, shake it for me, girl. Oh, country girl, shake it for me.
There were several TV shows that debuted in 2011 that I really liked. The first one was Shameless. Shameless was a series that was developed by John Wells. It aired on Showtime from 2011 to 2021. It was adapted from a British series, also called Shameless, and this was created by Paul Abbott. The American version was set in the south side of Chicago, and there was a big ensemble cast led by William H. Macy and Emmy Rossum. Shameless became the longest-running original scripted series in Showtime's history. It was about a family called the Gallaghers. Frank Gallagher was played by William H. Macy. He had 6 kids, and let's just say he was not the best dad in the world. Joan Cusack was on it for a while. She won an Emmy for Outstanding Guest Actress in a Comedy Series, and she was hysterical. The show Portlandia also debuted in 2011. Portlandia is a sketch comedy series starring Fred Armisen and Carrie Brownstein. It's set around Portland, Oregon. Sorry, not Portland, Maine. And it kind of spoofs Portland's reputation of having a whole bunch of hipster people and just being kind of a cool, funky city. The show Episodes also premiered in 2011. Episodes is a British-American sitcom. It was created by David Crane and Jeffrey Cleric. It's about a British husband and wife comedy writing team who go to Hollywood to remake the show that they had already made in the UK. And let's just say it didn't turn out quite the same way. Matt LeBlanc is in it, also Stephen Mangan, and Tamsin Gregg. The espionage thriller series Homeland also premiered in 2011. It was created by Howard Gordon and Alex Ganza. It has Claire Danes as this woman named Carrie Matheson. She was a CIA officer, but she's also bipolar. Damian Lewis was also in the first couple of seasons, and Mandy Patinkin. And now we're down to my favorite 2 shows that debuted in 2011. One of them is Downton Abbey, the British historical drama TV series that's set in the 20th century, and it was created and co-written by Julian Fellows. Now, it first aired, obviously, in the UK in 2010, and then later it came to the US, and it was on PBS starting in January of 2011. Downton Abbey earned the most nominations of any international TV series in the history of the primetime Emmy Awards. It had 27 in total and was the most watched TV series on both ITV in the UK and PBS. It went through 6 seasons, and they also made a movie that they released in 2019. And the most important fact you need to know about Downton Abbey is that Matthew Goode joined the cast in season 3. And my other favorite show that debuted in 2011 was Game of Thrones. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I was a latecomer to Game of Thrones. I tried to watch it at first and didn't quite get into it, and then kept going back to it, and then finally I was hooked. Game of Thrones was created by David Benioff and D.B. Weiss for HBO. It's based on A Song of Ice and Fire, which is a series of books by George R.R. Martin. The first book in the series is Game of Thrones. The TV show was shot in the UK, Canada, Croatia, Iceland, Malta, Morocco, and Spain. It premiered on HBO in 2011 and ended on May 19th, 2019, with 37 episodes over 8 seasons. The last season kind of got a lot of critical backlash because it was a shorter season. They made some weird creative decisions. It doesn't matter. Some people said it was a disappointing ending. I don't know. It was just really entertaining. The series finale was viewed by 19.3 million people across HBO, and it was the network's most watched episode ever. Game of Thrones received 59 Primetime Emmy Awards, the most by a drama series ever, including Outstanding Drama Series. It also won a Peabody Award, 5 Golden Globe nominations, and a lot of people say that Game of Thrones is one of the best television series of all time. The large cast is estimated to be the largest on television, and by the final season, 5 of the main cast members were making $1 million per episode. Most of the actors were found through auditions, except for Peter Dinklage and Sean Bean, who were both on board from the very start. So we watched Game of Thrones, the kids and I, the whole time from the beginning once I caught on to it. My husband never watched any of them. except for the last final episode. And he came in and decided he would just sit there and watch the last one and start asking questions. You just really shouldn't do that to people who have been watching a show for 7 years and are watching the final show. It's just not right. Let's talk about the movies of 2011. The number one movie at the box office was Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. It was the second of 2 cinematic parts based on J.K. Rowling's book, and it was the 8th and final installment of the Harry Potter film series. The same cast had been there the whole time. Daniel Radcliffe was Harry Potter, Rupert Grint was Ron Weasley, and Emma Watson was Hermione Granger. This last movie continued to follow Harry Potter's quest to find and destroy Lord Voldemort's Horcruxes in order to stop him once and for all. It was great. I loved Neville Longbottom in this movie because he kind of came out as a hero in the end. He was a much different kid from the very first Harry Potter movie. After 8 Harry Potter movies, it's hard to pick a favorite character because they were so well done. But I have to say, I love Alan Rickman so much that I have to go with Severus Snape. And I love at the end that he turned out to be a good guy. Alan Rickman, you are missed. The big Oscar winner of 2011 was The Artist, which won Best Film, Best Director, Best Actor for Jean Dujardin, and Best Original Score. Best Actress that year went to Meryl Streep for The Iron Lady. Best Supporting Actor went to Christopher Plummer for Beginners. And Best Supporting Actress went to Octavia Spencer for The Help. I loved The Help, both the book and the movie. The movie was based on the novel by Catherine Stockett. It was about African Americans who worked in white household in Jackson, Mississippi during the early 1960s. It had Emma Stone, Viola Davis, Jessica Chastain, Bryce Dallas Howard, and Allison Janney, in addition to Octavia Spencer. The Oscar for Best Original Song in 2011 went to Man or Muppet for the movie called The Muppets. You may recall that this song was written by singer-songwriter Brett McKenzie from The Flight of the Conchords. Other movies from 2011 included a whole bunch of sequels. We had The Hangover Part 2, which was the second Hangover movie. We had Transformers Dark of the Moon, which was the third Transformers movie by Michael Bay. We had Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides, which was the fourth Pirates of the Caribbean movie. We had The Twilight Saga, Breaking Dawn Part 1, which was the fourth installment of the Twilight film series. There was Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol, which was the fourth Mission Impossible film series. And then we had Fast 5, which was the fifth one of the Fast and Furious movies. Come on, Hollywood, do better. Kids' movies of 2011 included Rango, which won the Oscar for Best Animated Film. It was about a lizard, I think. I think it had the voice of Johnny Depp. I don't know. I did not see that one. Rio was a computer animated movie about blue macaws. It had the voices of Jesse Eisenberg and Anne Hathaway. And we had The Smurfs, which was a combination of live people and computer animation. It was the first of 2 Smurf films, and they had Hank Azaria as Gargamel, the nemesis of the Smurfs. He was wonderful. Hop was a computer animated movie about the Easter Bunny. Russell Brand voiced E.B., who was the Easter Bunny's son, who wanted to be in a band instead of being the Easter Bunny. It was a really cute movie. Mr. Popper's Penguins was a live-person movie based on the children's book by Richard and Florence Atwater. The movie had Jim Carrey, but originally Ben Stiller was supposed to play Mr. Popper, and then Owen Wilson and Jack Black, and ultimately Jim Carrey played Mr. Popper. So there were also a lot of kids' movies in 2011 that were sequels. We had Cars 2, Kung Fu Panda 2, Happy Feet 2, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Roderick Rules, which was a 2. And we had Puss in Boots, which was a spin-off and prequel from the Shrek franchise. There were a few comic bookish / action movies. We had The Green Hornet with Seth Rogen and Jay Chu. We had Thor, the first one with Chris Hemsworth. There was the first Captain America with Chris Evans. And I really liked The Adjustment Bureau that had Matt Damon and Emily Blunt. It was just a very cool original idea. Some comedies in 2011 included Crazy Stupid Love with Steve Carell and Ryan Gosling. Just Go With It had Adam Sandler and Jennifer Aniston. We really liked Paul, and that was written by Nick Frost and Simon Pegg and also starring them, plus Bill Hader and Seth Rogen and Kristen Wiig. It was a funny little movie about a little alien. 2011 brought us the remake of Arthur. This one had Russell Brand in the Dudley Moore role and Helen Mirren in the role of Hobson that was originally played by John Gielgud. Horrible Bosses came out in 2011. That was co-written by John Francis Daly, who played Sam Weir on Freaks and Geeks. We had The Big Year, which is a funny movie about bird watching with Jack Black, Steve Martin, and Owen Wilson. And my family really liked the movie Tower Heist with Ben Stiller and Eddie Murphy and a whole bunch of other very talented people. It was a great funny movie. Some less funny movies from 2011 included Contagion, directed by Steven Soderbergh. It had Matt Damon and Lawrence Fishburne and Kate Winslet. I saw this movie back in 2011 when it came out, and that was before COVID, and it scared me then, and then last year I could not stop thinking about this movie. Wonder why. Less scary but equally entertaining, we had Moneyball with Brad Pitt and Jonah Hill. We had Water for Elephants with Reese Witherspoon and Robert Pattinson. Super 8 came out in 2011. That had J.J. Abrams directing and writing. It also had George's own Kyle Chandler, who is a UGA alum. The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo came out that year. That was the American version with Daniel Craig and Rooney Mara. We had Young Adult that had Charlize Theron and Patton Oswalt. And they remade Footloose. Why? I don't know, but they did, and it came out in 2011. The original one was better. And now we come to my favorite movie of 2011, Bridesmaids. It was written by Annie Mumolo and Kristen Wiig. It was directed by Paul Feig. Annie Mumolo was actually in the film. She was supposed to have a bigger part. She ended up playing the nervous flyer who sat next to Annie on the flight to Las Vegas. But before filming started, she found out she got pregnant, so she had to take a smaller role. The main cast included Kristen Wiig, hilarious, Maya Rudolph, Rose Byrne, Melissa McCarthy, oh my lord, Wendy McClendon-Covey, Ellie Kemper, and Chris O'Dowd. Jill Clayburgh played Annie's mom, and sadly she passed away from leukemia just a few months before the Bridesmaids movie came out. Kristen Wiig and Annie Mumolo were nominated for an Oscar for Best Original Screenplay for their work on Bridesmaids. And Melissa McCarthy received an Oscar nomination as Best Supporting Actress for her role as Megan.
Hey, how's it going? It's going great. It's going great. I'm on the mend. You know, I just got some pins in my legs. Believe it or not, pins in my legs. Can still do this. All right, a mate fell off a cruise ship. Oh, but I'm back. Shit. Yeah, oh shit. Yeah, oh shit. Took a hard, violent fall. Kind of pinballed down. Hit a lot of railings. Broke a lot of shit. I'm not going to say I survived. I'm going to say I thrived. I met a dolphin down there. And I swear to God, that dolphin looked not at me, but into my soul, into my goddamn soul, Annie, and said, "I'm saving you, Megan." Not with his mouth, but he said it, I'm assuming telepathically. We had a connection that I don't even know if I can, oh, jeez. Hey, shut my mouth. Look at, unbelievable. You must be Annie's fella. I'm Megan. It's a pleasure.
Oh,
Well.
he's not. I'm not with him. Sorry.
Oh, all right. I'm glad he's single because I'm going to climb that like a tree.
Join me next time when we talk about the year 2012. When The Hunger Games was happening everywhere, we also had 50 Shades of Grey, and everybody was just going Gangnam Style. Thanks for listening, everybody. Y'all have a great day. Hey, this is Karen. I hope you're enjoying the Purple Bike podcast. For more information about the Purple Bike, go to thepurplebike.com, and also make sure to check out my website, which is karenmorgan.com, where you can subscribe to my monthly newsletter that has announcements about upcoming comedy shows, some really cool giveaways, and other fun stuff. So go to karenmorgan.com and sign up today.